Welcome to RPM Squared. Today's recording is going to talk a little bit about how to do your exercises correctly in order to obtain accurate data every time you exercise. There is a little bit of a learning curve, but it's not too challenging. To begin with, when you look at your screen, there are going to be a pair of footprints. When you're ready to start exercising, those footprints will turn red and they will tell you that you are in exercise mode. However, for exercises that are in the range of motion or pressure category, your actual first movement for those exercises is to do nothing, to stay in neutral position, which means not to exercise. For how long? A count of 5, and your clock will count that off for you. At the point that we get to count 6, you'll be ready to do the actual movement for the exercise. You must observe for all exercises that you do an appropriate 5-second hold time in both the neutral position and also when you're doing the movement for the exercise. This will optimize the measurements that are being taken while you exercise. So let's get an example. Notice how the model is sitting on a table, or it could be a counter, and if you're doing a chair, the same thing applies. First thing you want to do for a range of motion exercise like a knee extension is you want to put your finger on the outside of your knee and on the same side of your hip and just look at an imaginary line. If that line is not parallel to the surface area on which you're sitting, you need to find a pillow and prop your knee up to make it parallel. It's really important to do this check anytime you change the surface on which you're exercising. Notice that imaginary line right now is parallel to the table. Now, when the model begins to do his exercise, he's going to be sure that he's generating the type of movement that will generate the right type of measurements. Let's take an example. Let's actually do the knee extension exercise. Again, remember, sit up nice and straight. You have your long bone of the top of your leg parallel to the surface on which you're sitting. You're counting off 5 for hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Notice as the model is lifting his leg up that his ankle is not pointing to the forward. His ankle stays pointing to the ceiling. It's really important for the knee to be locked in this position and for the ankle to remain at a right angle. This exercise needs to be done this way every time in order to generate accurate measurements. And for the most part, what we've talked about today would hold true for most of the exercises that you will be doing. You want your knees locked and you want your ankle at a right angle.